Securing Her Tomorrow, Breaking the Silence on Postpartum Depression today. I'm Dr. Dawn Cherie Paramore, a licensed therapist, a private practitioner of mental health, and 1 out of 1 billion people in the world with a mental health diagnosis. On June 18, 2019, after 23 miscarriages and a stillbirth, I welcomed the most amazing gift, Christopher. But at the time, I did not see it that way because I was suffering with postpartum depression. Instead of welcoming him in my arms and having tears of joy, I had depression and anger and resentment. The sound of his cry made my skin cringe. I knew then that something was wrong, but because I was a licensed therapist of mental health, I was embarrassed to say that I thought I was suffering with postpartum depression. It wasn't until 1 week after my cesarean that my doctor would bring me in and diagnose me with what I was afraid he would tell me, that I was suffering with postpartum depression. The National Institute of Health reported in 2018, about a year before my son was born, that 10 to 15% of women would suffer with postpartum depression. And out of that percentage, 25 to 50% of those women would go on to suffer 6 months past their deliveries. Why is this so important? Because women, such as myself, will have symptoms such as suicidal ideation or even wanting to harm their babies in some way. And this is a problem because we need healthy families. But if people are misinformed, like I was as a licensed practitioner, thinking that there's agencies like the Division of Family Services or DIFAS that would swoop in and take your child, why would you say anything? You would continue to live in fear, which I did. And this is why this is so important, because there's a lot of people, a lot of women that are suffering with postpartum depression and they're not saying anything. They're suffering in silence because they're afraid that someone would judge them and also give them the harshest treatment by taking their child. So with that being said, we need to secure that her tomorrow today and break the silence on depression. So I am so pleased to submit this, hoping that this tape would be enough to say why we need to discuss this further. I'm Dr. Dawn Cherie Paramore, and I'm eternally grateful for this opportunity.